After more than 2 decades at the helm of Major League Baseball, Bud Selig has retired as the game's commissioner. In his first interview since stepping down, Selig looks back on a sport that enjoyed economic expansion and endured great controversy. We met him at a snow-covered Yankee Stadium. It is a cold reminder that there are still 5 weeks until pitchers and catchers report for spring training.
Charlie, I've been here many times. I've never seen snow on the field, so this is a first.
Bud Selig's first day in retirement began with a return to his roots as a fan. Growing up in Milwaukee, you were a Yankee fan.
I was. I was 10, 12, 14, 15 years old. I really thought I was going to be the heir apparent to Joe DiMaggio. I played center field.
You know, they say by 14 you realize that's not going to happen.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. About at the age of 14, a young man threw me a curveball, and that was it. I knew then that my career...
He was playing a game you were not familiar with.
Exactly right. My career on the field was over at a very, very early age.
Instead, Selig sought to become a league owner at 30 years old, ultimately bringing a bankrupt Seattle expansion team to Milwaukee after a 6-year effort.
I'll never forget, we lost 12-0 in our first game. And as I was walking down, a fan, we had a big crowd, and it was great. Fans said to me, you know, you wanted a team in the worst way, and that's what you got. And I said, well, it'll get better.
While his Brewers would improve, it was the state of Major League Baseball that most troubled Selig when he first led the league in 1992.
We had a lot of unhappy teams. You couldn't compete. And so you had to do something that helped baseball.
Selig's proposal that high-earning, big-market franchises share revenue with smaller clubs passed unanimously.
Now all 30 clubs have been in the playoffs in the last 10 or 12 years. And you know, Kansas City Royals playing in the World Series last year. People ask me a lot about it. Of course, it made me happy because it was what we set out to do.
You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give to be the truth?
If there is one thing for which Bud Selig will be remembered, it is baseball's steroid scandal, which continued throughout his tenure.
Baseball will not rest and will continue to be vigilant on the issue of performance-enhancing substances.
That had to be the most testing time for you.
It was, I worry a lot. I worried a lot about, obviously, the game.
It goes to the heart of the game.
You bet. No question about it. You know, people have said we were slow to react, and I believe that's a historical myth.
So how should we view those athletes who use steroids and have toppled the record of people who didn't?
Well, people are going to have to make their own judgment about that. I've studied the game. Every decade, every generation has its unique features.
Alex Rodriguez is 6 home runs short of Willie Mays. Willie Mays.
The great Willie Mays, you're right. Well, we'll have to see what happens. He'll be playing for this team, or at least he'll be in spring training in another month or so.
What do you think will happen?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to let the Yankees worry about that.
Let's turn to what is, for you, proud achievements in baseball. One, we mentioned revenue sharing. There's interleague play. You're proud of that.
I am.
You're also proud of the fact that you have a wild card.
Oh, yeah. Now 2 more.
But then there is this, which I know you've thought a lot about. It's too long a game. There is no time limit.
Well, that's interesting. You know,
there are a lot of ways you could make this game shorter.
Well, we have a pace of game committee, and Joe Torre and Sandy Alderson. We have a great committee, and we're coming up with things. But I want to say this to you: why is our attendance increasing? Why are television revenues increasing? Why is revenue increasing? The more I talk to fans, I don't get that as much as I sometimes get it in the media. Don't misunderstand me.
If you didn't think this was a problem, you would not have all these important people looking at it.
I said, don't misunderstand me. We will look at this problem, but I want to say to you, 74, 75 million people attending baseball games was unheard of even a decade ago.
One recommendation is a shorter time between pitches.
Well, I'm going to let
on that.
Yes, I think that's okay. In my day, maybe even in your day, batter got in the batter's box, he didn't get out.
Yeah.
And I think that's right.
You're still going to have an office.
Yes.
They're still going to pay you $6 million a year. What are you going to do for $6
well,
million
I don't know.
a year?
Well, you ask me that in a year or so, and I'll let you know. They created the.
They must think your judgment is really, really good.
They created the commissioner emeritus, which baseball's never had, and I'm looking forward to that.
Commissioner Selig.
On Saturday, baseball writers honored Selig for his 23 years of leadership at Major League Baseball. He, in turn, thanked family, fans, and friends of the game for the career of a lifetime.
I said this journey in my career, and I'm lucky, one of those rare instances where a little boy's dreams did come true. Thank you.
Oh, I love how that ended with him actually saying it. He seems very relaxed and comfortable with whatever his next chapter is going to be.
This is 10 a.m. on Sunday morning, too.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up the length of the game, though, Charlie. You know, he says the fans are increasing, but I don't know anybody that's not sitting there going, God, this
there are a
game
lot
is
more
long.
in this interview, including the fact that, you know, the appeal of the game to African Americans. And, you know, the San Francisco, which won the World Series, had no African Americans. You know, and we talked about that tonight on my PBS show.